Welcome into the Cougar Cast here at the Kokomo Post Sports. I am your host, Jay Stevens, and this is the place to get the update on everything going on at the athletic department at IU Kokomo. And joining us once again at the top of the show is Grant Patterson. He is the sports information coordinator at IUK. Grant, welcome back once again.
Great to be back, Jay. Thanks for having me.
No problem at all. Later in the show, we'll get to hear from the baseball coach, head baseball coach at IUK, Mr. Drew Brantley, but that's coming up later on. Grant, once again, the volleyball team continues to win. Can you kind of update us on what's going on, how long their win streak is, and some other amazing things that are going on with this talented team?
Yeah, I can't say that I really apologize for having to talk about volleyball every time we come on, but hey, they're the star of our show so far this fall. 19 straight wins is what the win streak is up to after, I think, 3 wins last week. Yeah, 3 wins last week, another chance at 3 more this week, as this is the second to last week of the regular season for them, so they're really looking to finish the regular season strong. 5 matches remaining, finish out the regular season undefeated in River State's conference play, and then that confirms that we'll be able to host the postseason. So yeah, a big chance, got a chance to come out both Friday and Saturday, the Student Activities and Event Center, and watch volleyball. And Heather Hayes just has her squad rolling. Even when they're down in a set, it seems like a quick timeout. Every time they respond immediately out of that timeout and just seem to be back to normal. It's easy with them. It just seems like they're in a groove right now.
What's it like, as you are just a general sports fan, what's it like for you to watch them play every single week?
Yeah, so for me being a general sports fan, yes, I watched volleyball growing up at Kokomo High School, was around it all the time, but I never knew how much I enjoyed watching volleyball until I got here and saw the program that Heather Hayes has, saw the way that they compete. Like I said, we pack the gym pretty well every home match. The gym is rocking, and this team just plays hard. They fight for each other. They know what they're capable of, and this year I think it's a lot. Their ceiling this year may be higher than it's ever been in the program's history at IU Kokomo, so definitely intrigued to see what that is. And I definitely have to say volleyball's at the top of my list for sports I enjoy watching, definitely here at IU Kokomo.
I don't know if this is a program record ranking for them, but last I checked, the volleyball team is ranked number 15 in the nation. If that's a program record or not does not matter. That's pretty good. That's not just local Midwest. That's in every entire nation, entire country. Being number 15 among all the teams, that's a great accomplishment. That goes into what Grant was talking about with Heather Hayes. We had her on the show, and we discussed the sustained success that she's had, not just over the past couple years, but really since she's been the head volleyball coach, got the conference win, and next thing you know, it's over and over and over again. If that's a program record, that's great. I don't know. Maybe
it is. Yep. Of course.
Amazing. Well, you're tooting your own horn. Like I wasn't going to say like this guy is just like a walking encyclopedia of IU Kokomo Athletics, but he did it himself. Program record. That's amazing, and it's clear they have a chance to move up in the national rankings as well.
Yeah, program record. 15th, that's the highest we've ever been, as Jay said, and a new ranking will come out tomorrow, so we'll be interested. Might move up, might move down. We know our conference isn't the strongest competition, so that can affect us in the ranking, but either way, focus on the task at hand. Focus on your matches, winning those. That's all you can do in the end, so I think that's the biggest thing, but yes, program high of 15, who knows where that'll take us, but if we finish inside the top 20, like we touched on last week, we'll be able to host the opening round of the national tournament, so that would be a huge home court advantage, if you will. So we would get to play that match, and if we would win that home match, we would move on to Iowa and Sioux City, where we'd be able to compete for a national title.
One thing we always do with Grant, we hit on soccer, hit on esports, not sure which area he's going to go next, but what's going on with those departments? First year with esports, everything I've heard is that they're doing well for a new sport, and in the first year of that, but soccer as well. So Hayla Akavine done a great job with that team of late. What are some updates with those sports? Yeah,
so we'll touch on esports first. I think they've only lost 2 regular season matches in like a month of competing. I know it's at least been 3 weeks. So to play 3 matches a week, that's Overwatch, Super Smash Bros, and Rocket League. So playing 3 matches a week, 1 of each, and we've only lost at a maximum of 2 regular season matches, and one of them was just last week against the highest team in our pod, if you will. So Carroll University got the best of us, but I think Coach Nick has been impressed. I think everybody at IU Kokomo has been impressed with the development, rapid development of these kids and their success, and it just speaks to how good of athletes they were before they got to IU Kokomo, and then the work that Nick and his staff, along with Colton Wallace and Blake Sloan, have done with the IUK esports team.
One thing we noticed with Nick Leahy is he's passionate. even though it's something that a lot of people would love to do and maybe be passionate in it, but his passion came across and the knowledge as well. And it sounds like he's done a great job of putting his passion and his knowledge and gathered a great team together to be really successful in a new sport at IUK.
Yeah, I've been uber impressed with the way that he has worked and the way this was a completely new thing for everybody, not just us. It was new for Nick. As far as I know, Nick's never been an esports coach before. Yes, he's a fan of esports, fan of video games, but I think he just combined to take that knowledge and that passion to be successful at whatever he does, and he's determined to build something great at IU Kokomo. And just hearing him speak, I heard him speak the other day when we were looking at their new facility that's being built, and it was super impressive to hear what he had to say, and he's definitely got a great future in plan for us and our IUK students.
I was wondering about that. So it sounds like it's not finished yet?
Yeah, not finished yet, but I think it should be finished in the spring, definitely within 2024 as a year. So I'm not sure about the spring competition, but definitely by next fall, they'll be competing in there.
So once again, this is one of those sports that competes in multiple seasons. Golf does a fall and a spring season. That's the same for esports?
Yes, I'm not 100% sure. I think they just operate on semesters.
Okay.
So not 100% sure. As I said, esports is something new for me. I've never paid attention to yes, I played video games, but I've never done this as a competition and done these games. So it's all been a learning curve, and it's been something I've enjoyed learning because Nick's been a great leader and instrumental.
Next up is soccer. Sahela Akavine was on the show earlier when I took over as the host of the Cougar Cast. And once again, another coach who is passionate about what she's doing. And last we heard from you, they are hitting their stride at the right time of the season. Are they still on that same path?
Yeah, they're still playing well. Hit a little bit of a bump in the road, and I think both coaches would tell you that Saturday with a 2-2 draw against Brescia. We didn't have our best, but we also just played down to the level of our opponents. But we'll bounce back. This is the final week of the regular season, so only one more chance to see them in action here. They will hit the road Thursday afternoon, though. They're going to play, for the first time ever, they'll play Indiana University, Purdue University, Columbus.
Okay.
So that'll be a first-time foe. Hopefully an easy road win before they come back home and close out the regular season. We are actually tied for the River States Conference title with Rio Grande. I think both teams have a record of 6-0-2. So Saturday's match is for all the marbles. As long as both teams take care of business earlier this week, Saturday's match is for home field advantage throughout the River States Conference playoffs and gives you have an advantage going into the playoffs, considering you can play in front of your home crowd and don't have to travel to that opposing team and make them come to you.
That's at 3 o'clock on Saturday, correct, here in Kokomo?
Yes, sir, correct. 3 p.m. at Kokomo Municipal Stadium. Later
on this week, there's going to be a couple sports that'll be starting and embarking on the first game in their winter seasons. We talked basketball previously, had Coach Eric Eckelbarger, the men's basketball coach, here on the show. We talked about a young lady on the women's basketball team. Her name escapes me right now.
Anna Kaiser, yep.
There you go. He's on it. He's on it, guys. But this weekend, Friday, the men's basketball team has their first game. I believe Saturday, the women's basketball team has their first game. What can you tell us about those teams that they embark on a new season?
Yeah, I'm excited for both of these teams to get started, and we touched on it last week. Eric Eckelbarger is a great leader. He'll take his squad to Governor State. They're over in University Park, Illinois.
Okay.
Kicked off the season there last year with the Governor State Tip-Off Classic. We'll be back this year. We'll take on the host Governor State Friday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And then after that game, assuming William Penn beats East-West, we would take on William Penn, assuming that we win as well. So I know Coach is really excited about the opportunity to go out there and win the opener, but then also that sets up a pretty big marquee matchup, if you will, Saturday afternoon against a William Penn program that was number one in the nation 2 years ago when we beat them on their home floor. So we know William Penn is out to get us, and we know we want another piece of them and another crack at them just to prove that was no joke. Like we are legit NAIA power and stuff like that. So I think they're chomping at the bit to go 2-0 this opening weekend. And then you got a women's basketball squad. What do they have to lose under a first-year head coach? They've got a good group of girls. Anna Kaiser leads the way with seniors like Mackenzie Cooper, Kristen Ridner, and Olivia Dowden. So I'm interested to see how they'll be this season. They'll start off at IU South Bend. That's a tough test. We play good schedules here at IU Kokomo, so non-conference is tough to judge it by. When you're playing teams and in-state foes across the state of Indiana, they're all pretty good at almost every sport, and Coach Drew Brantley knows that as well. IU South Bend, they've been good at women's basketball as of late. They've made the tournament 4 out of the last 5 years, I believe, if not more. So definitely going to be a stiff test Saturday, but both teams are about to get into action and get into the full swing of this long grind of a season.
This is the first time that we're going to ask Grant and have him close out his portion of the show discussing something with at high school. Now, earlier we heard that Grant is a graduate of Kokomo High School, played, I believe, golf and tennis there. Kokomo's playing in the sectional semifinal on Friday night. It's at home. Molly and I will be there on Friday night covering the game. Do you think Kokomo wins and beats Marion Friday night to advance to the sectional championship?
I'm probably the wrong person to ask. I could go on and on about this, but hey, I don't like the Marion Giants one bit. Growing up a Kokomo Wildcat, couldn't stand the Giants of Marion, and I've got the utmost of faith and respect for the Colbys, both Brett and Austin. Great people, great coaches, and I have no doubt that they'll run all over Marion just as they did earlier this season and cruise to a big-time win to advance to regionals or maybe even sectional championship.
You heard it here. Got a prediction from him. I'll be at the game covering it. Kokomo Post Sports Game of the Week. Have coverage all Friday night, all weekend long. We don't have to wait till the weekend to hear from Drew Brantley, the head baseball coach at IUK. He's coming up next. As the Cougar Cast rolls on, I'd like to welcome into the show the head baseball coach at IU Kokomo, Mr. Drew Brantley. Drew, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. It's awesome to be here. Glad to be back.
Some people might be wondering, baseball coach, October, how do those two things go hand in hand? We'll definitely get into that during today's portion with Drew. Drew, you are embarking in another season as the head baseball coach at IUK. First full season as a head baseball coach was in 2022. What did it mean for you when you got the promotion about 6 months prior to the start of that first season of you being named the baseball coach at IUK?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. Obviously, graduating from Western, Kokomo being my hometown, got family, all throughout the city. It was really cool. Having an opportunity to be an assistant for a handful of years there under Coach Howard. What a blessing, man, to be home and to be back where I'm from. And to take over a program that's had so much success to this point. Man, it's been a lot of fun. It means a ton.
You're a local kid. I say kid, you're young, but you know what I'm saying? You're a local guy, local to the area. Did it mean special for you to be the head baseball coach in the area that you grew up in?
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Obviously, growing up, going through high school, when I graduated at Western, IU Kokomo Athletics was just starting to take off.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really a thought in my mind until I got into college and into my college coaching career that could be a possibility. And then once I went through my graduate assistantship and did a year at Indiana Wesleyan, it became real that being an assistant here was a possibility. And then obviously, once you get in the program, there's always a chance, and it's very special. Mom and Dad don't miss a game. I talk about it with every family member whenever we see them, whether it's February, October, December, it doesn't matter. They're always asking how the team's looking, how the recruiting class is looking, what things are looking like. So it's been truly incredible to be a part of something that I grew up with.
Wait. You said Mom and Dad don't miss a game?
No. Usually, if we're at home, they don't miss a game. I think Dad only missed a handful of them last year.
Wow.
Traveling to Georgia and Tennessee and Pittsburgh and everywhere. They're with us the vast majority of the time.
That's amazing. I remember my parents. I didn't play college sports. I played high school sports. My dad and my parents, they made every high school football game.
Oh, yeah.
But my brother, when he played at Butler, and I noticed my dad saying, yeah, we're going to Dartmouth. Wait, where is that? How far away is it? These are the thoughts going through my mind. But I love hearing, and I experienced it. My parents went to all the games. They're going to all your games. It must be nice for you as your career progresses and moves forward that your parents are still big supporters of you.
Oh, yeah, big time. I don't think I would be in this spot without my support system, to be completely honest with you. It's they never let me get too high, never let me get too low. It's pretty incredible having those guys around, a phone call away, a 5-minute drive away. So I've loved every minute of it.
I mentioned earlier, it's October, and the baseball coach is here with us on the show. What are some things the baseball team is doing to prepare for the upcoming season?
Yeah, so we have an 8-week fall season. So we go for 8 weeks, 6 days a week. We usually scrimmage twice a week. This current week is our last week of the fall, so we're finishing the week with a Fall World Series. It's a 5-game series. We split the team into 2 different teams, and letting them compete a little bit. So our weeks have been long. They've been a grind, but a lot of it is just based upon skill acquisition and development, and just getting some camaraderie between the guys and trying to figure out some lineups and pitching staff things. So it's been a long fall, but it's been a lot of fun. We've got a very talented group. We're excited.
What are some things you've learned about your team during this grind, this 6-day-a-week grind you guys are in the middle of?
We're resilient, that's for sure. Anytime that we faced adversity, we've had our ups and downs with it, but we've always came out on the other side. We've had some guys that haven't been happy with each other, haven't been happy with me. We've had some tough conversations, but at the end of the day, they're ready to go for the next day. And there have not been too many downs to this point, which is something that, is a little out of the norm for us. We've got some guys that can go out there and can grind every day and want to fight to earn a position, fight to earn a conference championship or each win that we have next year. So it's been awesome to be a part of.
Sometimes those tough conversations that a coach has to have with a player, or maybe even a player has to go and contact and get in the face of another player, one of their teammates, that happening this time of year, it can lead to big success, memories that you will have for a lifetime. It's kind of nice to have those conversations now in October when the season starts in February, then in the middle of April when it's like, wait, we could have figured this out months ago, but we didn't tackle it like we should have.
For sure. And it has been, it's a long 8 weeks. We don't play another school or anything. So it's, things get chippy for sure. And guys go at it, and it is nice to get those things out of the way early, but it does give the guys an opportunity to compete for spots, to go up against each other, and kind of may the best man win, so to speak. So it's been good seeing those guys compete and go at each other. I've had a ton of fun doing it. It's been stressful. It's truly been a grind, but it's been a good one, that's for sure.
During the off season, in between the end of the Cougars baseball season and then the beginning of this 8-week grind, you have participated with the Kokomo Jackrabbits in the summer. How has that helped you and prepared you for the upcoming season? That's a different type of grind where you're not with the players for 2 or 3 or 4, maybe 5 years. You're with them for a summer, for a short period of time. How does that participation with the Jackrabbits help you for the upcoming season?
Yeah, it's obviously just comfortability, being around as many different people as what I can be, and being around the game in as many different capacities as what I can be. Obviously working with Coach Hobbs and the rest of the staff for the Jackrabbits over the summer, more so in player recruitment was a lot of fun. Just seeing how that side of summer baseball works. Obviously working with Nate Martin down at the stadium, trying to help out as much as what I can in their day-to-day activities. It's been a lot of fun. Just trying to give the city the best product that we can. Obviously the facility that we have is gorgeous. It's beautiful, and just want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to promote it as best as what we can.
It's one of the best things, or one of the areas that I spent a lot of time when I first moved to Kokomo. Recently moved to Kokomo earlier this summer, and so I was trying to figure out what sports were in the area. And my wife, we were dating previously, got engaged, and we spent a lot of time at Kokomo Municipal Stadium, at the gym, downtown Memorial Gym. That baseball stadium's not normal. I drive around, see different stadiums and fields all over the place. To have that stadium look brand new, it's not brand new at all, but look brand new, and being able to have IUK be their home stadium and the soccer team at IUK be their home stadium, and then in the summer get the use of the college athletes that are coming to Kokomo in the summer league, it must be special. I know it probably is for the athletes, but for you to coach in that stadium every single season.
Yeah, I mean, it sells itself. It really does. Anytime that we have an opposing team in, anytime we have a recruit in, the first thing, everybody takes their phone out. They're snapping pictures of the scoreboard, of the turf, of the suites up top. It's a big deal to have that. It really is. And I mean, we couldn't be more blessed to have that. And our guys, they don't take it for granted most of the time. There are some days where it can seem like that, but walking out there every day and seeing the turf and having that facility at our disposal has just been an unreal experience.
Who are some of those players, and I say players plural, I would hope it wouldn't just be one guy, but who are some of those players that have wowed you during this 8-week grind that we might see big things from in the upcoming season?
We have a great returning class. we do graduate a lot at the end of the year, but our returning class has been pretty incredible. For them to step up and kind of lead the program in the direction that we want to go, kind of set the standard of excellence, or what we've defined as excellent, has been really good. We've got a lot of fifth-year guys, Riley Garchinsky, Ben Harris. Those are two guys that have been around the program forever. Ben is a Northwestern high school product, so that's really cool to have that around. Those are two guys that have been through the ups and downs in the program for a long, long time. Other guys, Jared Gillespie, Thomas Oberfell, Dylan Janke. Those are other names that they've been around for a long time. They definitely embody what IU Kokomo baseball is, and obviously, hopefully, we can see them on the field doing great things in the spring.
Last thing for you, what does it mean to be the baseball coach of IU Kokomo in 2024?
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm excited to see what the team does. For me personally, I do everything that I can to represent the university in the athletic department as well as what I can, but I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, man. Being this close to home, being at home and just doing everything that I can to represent myself and where I'm from, it means the world. It really does.
All this looking ahead, I said 2024, realizing we're still in 2023. Think about the 2024 IUK baseball season. I'd like to thank Drew Brantley for coming on the show. I'd like to thank Grant Patterson for coming on the show as well. This has been the Cougar Cast. We'll see you next week.